This country is not only black people, it's all of us. When I became the minister, I saw the list of people going to Venezuela. I said, where are the disabled people on this list? I cut the officials. I said, let's replace them with disabled, and let's have all the races here. You can't just have black people going. You know, the first black man to earn 100,000 in sport was Peter Matebula. But Peter Matebula, 40 years after Peter Matebula, boxers are earning 4,000 rands a fight. 4,000 rands to get brain damage. But when you look at the officials, there's officials that fly twice a week, renting expensive cars, running up phone bills of 120,000. That we said is not going to happen. Very proud today to say World Rally Race Championship. For the first time, it's coming to Sun City. I said, before I contribute 1 cent, I would like to see black women also being part of it. I would like to see white women also being part of it. I don't want the sport to be an all-male, only male, even in the business fraternity. We must respect our women. They are sometimes better business people than we are. So under my leadership, we are going to bring expression to what we've agreed upon. And if you don't believe me, the ambassador of France, I want to quote him, so he can say, no, I'm not telling the truth. When I was a minister, he sent me a text message. He's like, Minister, we've been trying to sign the MOU. Minister, can you help? I said, can we meet tomorrow morning and sign? He says, oh, I'm out of the country. I said, so you are the problem. And after a month, after changing some new things I changed there, we signed. And he stood up at a press conference. He said, I must tell you, this ministry is the fastest ministry I've ever worked with. These are action men. I said, didn't hear you, repeat that again. So that is what we're going to do with the same thing. Then, you know, government, we must listen to people. And the GNU is that type of a government. I was at Fame Week, I met 3 little girls. My protectors told me, you have to leave, it's becoming too dangerous. Everybody's grabbing me and want a picture. And when they were pulling me out, this girl is pulling my jacket. And I'm like thinking, I'm not going to leave you. I said, how can I help you? She's like, 30 seconds. And I said, let him come, let him come. The 3 ladies came. They spoke, all 3 of them spoke at one time. And all I could hear is that our movie house in Kalicha is closed because we don't have a screen that's working. We don't have proper speakers. Our computers are old. I said, I will be there within a week. When I turned around and said, why? We'll never see him again. And they saw me. And I went to go look at the screen. It wasn't working properly. I went to look at the speakers. I went to the library. When I saw the computers, I realized those were the computers that we used to steal before I went to jail. That's how old those computers were. I can tell you today, myself and the deputy minister, on Monday first, on Monday, we took them the money. They are putting a new screen, new speakers, and new computers in that school. 10 students in Mitchell's Plain got bursaries to study music. After studying music, those 10 kids, you can change? She's coming here. You see, I learned quick in government, they change. I never knew that on TV. So I'm thinking these people, the esteemed people, when they go to the gym, they must do this training because the whole time. So, the Mitchell's Plain, these people got bursaries. And when they graduated, they went back to the townships in Mitchell's Plain and Kalicha and Delft. And they started to teach other kids music. They will go from from flats to flats to flats to flats to flats, getting people music, teaching people how to play music. And they will do one. Can I get tissue, please? And they will do one instrument. And children will be away from the gangs to go and teach music. gives me great joy that when they met me, I made sure that we speak to Betway and the department, and we said we'll match them rent for rent what they gave. They gave equipment for 1 million rand, and the department put another 1 million rands for equipment. Thank you. For equipment for the kids. Now they can teach 400 students and keep them away from crime so they can teach music. When I became the minister, I saw the list of people going to Venezuela. I said, where are the disabled people on this list? I cut the officials. I said, let's replace them with disabled, and let's have all the races here. You can't just have black people going. This country is not only black people, it's all of us. And I changed that, and I removed some officials. And they went to the Venezuela fair. And the people of Venezuela came to myself and the minister, deputy minister, and they said South Africa was one of the best participants in the Venezuela book fair. So much so that the Cuban government is inviting us to be the main guest next year at the Cuban Book Festival. And it's going to be transparent. We are going to have everybody that wants to go with the government to Cuba, they must apply. So we do things a bit differently and more transparently. I have shown people that you have nothing to hide. So very soon, look out for the authors that want to go and showcase in Cuba. The government will pay for this. Thank you very much. We have seen boxing. You know, the first black man to earn 100,000 in sport was Peter Terra Matebula. Peter Terra Matebula was the first black man to earn 100,000 in sport, prize money, which he had to share with the coaches. But Peter Terra Matebula, 40 years after Peter Terra Matebula, boxers are earning 4,000 rands a month, a fight. 4,000 rands to get brain damage. But when you look at the officials, there's officials that fly twice a week, renting expensive cars, running up phone bills of 120,000. That we said is not going to happen. So we've appointed the acting CEO, Tsulufelo Lizaka, from my office to oversee. We have stopped all this legal. They are not in the business of boxing. The boxing SA was in the business of legal issues. They stay in court. They have lawyers on retainer. I've stopped all the legal matters. We've settled the legal matters. We are now putting boxing back to where it belongs. The advert is out. You can also apply if you have boxing expertise, and you can add to the board. It is now being advertised. Knowing how to fight is not the only requirement. You must be able to have. This one is very personal to me. I grew up with spinning. I saw what spinning does. There's no gangsters in that sport. There's no drug users in that sport, because every cent they have, they buy oil, screws, seats, tires. Tires are expensive for us spinners. And I can tell you, when I went to prison and I came out, spinning was still at the same place, unrecognized, being called a gangster sport. People that don't do spinning don't see the value of it. So much so when I became the minister, the first priority for me was spinning. And they thought, the white people thought I'm talking about spinning top in the gym, the things they do there. And some of the super coloreds were laughing at me. Like, why is he doing this gangster sport? I can tell you, spinning, I've been to an empty rugby game, empty soccer game, empty cricket game. I've never been to empty spinning. And I said, this will be my priority. I first had to teach my staff, from the ADG through to everyone, about spinning. And I remember the deputy minister said she's got a gosheshe. I'm still waiting to see that gosheshe. and I worked very hard to formalize spinning. Spinning, I met with Motorsport South Africa. They came with their problems to me, and I said, before I listen to your problems, fix my problem. you must legalize spinning. And they assured me they will do that. I went to meet with the president of the FIA, the highest decision-making person when it comes to anything with an engine, from F1 to GP to spinning, everything. He didn't even know what spinning was. He asked me send me 2 or 3 videos. I sent him 35 videos. I think he might have blocked me after that. And I'm very proud today to say spinning is going professional. Spinners will get a salary. And the federation is even now getting sponsorship. They are going to buy cars for the children that parents can't afford, the Gusheshes. So DM, you better come clean very quickly. If you have a Gusheshe, if you don't, you must also apply for a vehicle to spin there. And I want to thank Cell C, which became the first headline sponsor for spinning, and Kappa, which will now make sure that they are fully kitted in Kappa. So they'll treat them like they treated the Kaizer Chiefs, that team that I'm accused of supporting, which I don't. And then we had the DSTV Delicious Festival. I didn't even know what that was, but I went because the food was very delicious there. The DSTV Delicious Festival, where we honored the Miriam Makebas, the Brenda Fassis, the Hugh Masikelas, and we are forming a partnership with DSTV for the Delicious Festival. So those are the things that we've been busy with. And I'm very proud to announce the World Rally Race Championship. For the first time, it's coming to Sun City. And I want to thank Motorsport South Africa. You guys have worked so hard. You fought very hard that South Africa is now, and it's only the beginning. F1 will still be coming. I'll talk about it shortly. But already we got one because we went to Baku. We were fighting with the president. I said to him, but you don't bring stuff to South Africa. And I said to Motorsport, go and fight. And we were on the phone with them the whole time during the vote. Denise had to switch off her phone like, they've not even started to vote, Minister. And when they voted, she called and she said, we've got it. And I want to say to you, this event is going to be the biggest motorsport event that we've had in this country. And I said to Motorsport, I have one problem which we are working on because government is also going to contribute. I said, before I contribute 1 cent, I would like to see black women also being part of it. I would like to see white women also being part of it. I don't want the sport to be an all male, only male, even in the business fraternity. We must respect our women. They are sometimes better business people than we are. So our money will go to women in South Africa that will be part of that pie, of the advantages that will be received from hosting the World Rally Race Championship.
The South African Safari Rally, May 2025. For the first time, the prestigious World Rally Raid Championship comes to Southern Africa. From the iconic Sun City Resort, teams will take on a journey like no other. 5 stages, over 5 days of pure adrenaline. Starting on the 18th of May and finishing on the 24th of May. It begins with a prologue in the shadow of Sun City. Then dives deep into the wild, where nature itself becomes the ultimate challenge. The teams will battle through the stunning yet unforgiving landscapes of South Africa's Limpopo and Northwest provinces. Varied terrain ranging from open bushveld to river crossings and mountain ranges will test man and machine to their limits. The race will reach its climax on the 24th of May with a high adrenaline power stage designed for the ultimate display of skill and tenacity. This is not just a race, it's an adventure across one of the world's most awe-inspiring landscapes, with Africa's majestic Big Five as spectators and its rugged terrain as the ultimate test. This is the 2025 World Rally Raid Championship. This is Africa.
Now, those are the nice things we are bringing to South Africa. South Africa is going to have nice things, and I want to jump to UFC. Don't follow the media that has not spoken to me. Follow the ones that are here today because they know from the horse's mouth what is happening. Not the ones that get B information. UFC. End of this month, we are meeting with Dana White. You know, when I saw that ground transport, it was very steep. I said to the person in the department, I said, you better get an international license because we'll have to take Ubers when we get to Abu Dhabi this month. We are going to meet with UFC to make sure that Driekus' fight come to South Africa. Just as we met with FIA and Motorsport to make sure this is coming, it is here. So the UFC, we are meeting. So there's no thing to say it is not coming. We are going to negotiate. We've been talking to them for 3 months. They've been asking us 1 million questions. They've asked SuperSport 1 million questions. And we are going to make sure that Driekus du Plessis, our champion, must fight here at home. And I will come back, hopefully with good news. And hopefully also not being asked so many questions about my trip to Abu Dhabi. Then the F1. This is how far we are with the F1. South Africa has been to the altar twice and didn't get married. They go to F1, we want to host it. F1 is listening to them, then it falls flat. Because politicians, billionaires in this country, they started fighting, and I now became the minister. So I told the billionaires, back off. You are not the only billionaires in the world. I told the politicians, back off. I am the Minister of Sport. Let me talk with F1. I met the leadership of F1. I met the president of the FIA. I told them we would like to host the F1. They said they need certain letters within the next 30 days. Within 8 hours after my meeting with them, they received the letters that they asked me to give them within 30 days. They called me back to say, we've never seen this. We got what we needed from you within 8 hours. I said, sorry, within 10 hours. I said, no, sorry, it was 8 hours. So I want to thank my staff for getting all of that ready. What is happening now, we are meeting at the end of November. End of November, they're going to give us a list, and we need to pay certain things. There are 2 banks in South Africa that wants to get involved. There are companies that want to get involved. So the issue is not money. But where I am sitting, I look at the 2026, but more 2027 calendar. We are not the only country wanting it. Morocco wants it, Rwanda wants it, but they're very hilly, and they don't have a track yet. And big announcements are going to be made about our track very soon. So that's also coming.